Hey everyone, this is Adam with UAV Coach. This is a little different than our normal style of videos, but there's been a lot of buzz recently regarding the FCC and some drone bans, so we just wanted to walk through it in a pretty simple way. We're going to go through some of the documents that they've published and just explain the whole situation, what we know, what we don't know, what we think could happen in the future, and just give you all the information so you're more informed on this subject, because it is pretty prevalent in the drone industry right now. And two things I want to make clear before we start. Everything I go over, all of these files, they're in a comment period, so nothing is happening right now. They just want your comments and opinions on everything that we're going to go over, and we'll explain in a bit how to add those comments. We'll link everything down below. And second, a bit of context for this. So if you don't know, in December of 2025, the FCC banned foreign-made drones from being sold or imported in the US. Most notably, this is DJI and Autel. They are Chinese drone companies. So FCC restricted any future models from being imported into the US. For DJI specifically, that means anything after the DJI Avata 360 cannot receive FCC authorization. So any drone before then, if you have it, you're all right. And first, we're going to look at this fact sheet. There's also a public notice. The fact sheet is just a much more simpler and shorter version of the public notice, but again, we'll link both of these below so you can check them out if you want. So with the fact sheet, what we're really covering today is down here. And what they want is they issued a public notice seeking comment on whether we should prohibit the import, marketing, or sale of certain military-grade foreign-made UAS and UAS critical components on the FCC's covered list. So basically, they're seeing whether certain drones that have already been authorized, if they classify as military grade. And if they do, they want to restrict them. So how do they categorize these? Well, they give 7 different sections. First is swarming drones, and these include drone light shows, drones specifically designed to integrate defense articles, thermal imaging drones, drones integrating LiDAR sensing. We'll get back to this one. This is a pretty important one. Aerosol drones capable of dispensing economic poison under FAA rules. So think agriculture drones that dispense chemicals, drone docking stations. These are pretty popular with public safety agencies, and drones that weigh 55 pounds or more. So right now, this is what they are classifying as military-grade drones. Now, if we go back to this LiDAR section, this is important, and this is beginning a lot of headlines and a lot of buzz, because if we take this as a blanket statement, it's saying that any drone that has LiDAR is going to be classified as military grade, and if all of this goes through, then those drones would be restricted or banned from being sold or imported in the US. The issue is that a lot of new DJI drones market themselves as having LiDAR because it's a pretty important piece of technology on drones nowadays. It helps with them navigating the environment. It's really good with obstacle avoidance, things like that. Now, the kind of funny thing is that the main drones that have LiDAR nowadays are the Mini 5 Pro, the Air 3S, and the Neo 2. So again, if we are looking at this as a blanket statement, then if a drone has LiDAR, it's classified as military grade. So the Mini 5 Pro or the Neo 2, they have LiDAR, so they would be classified as military grade. And that's pretty funny because you would never think of a DJI Neo 2 as a military grade drone. But that's where all of these headlines are coming out, that the Mini 5 Pro is going to get banned, everything like that. It's because they fit under this LiDAR sensing category. And same thing with like thermal imaging drones. There's a lot of commercial drones that have thermal imaging, but they're not military grade. So 3 things I want to clarify when we talk about this before you start freaking out and thinking that all of these drones are going to get banned. First, if we go to the public notice down on page 7, I want to remind you that this is a comment period. And they specifically say, we seek comment on this list. Does this list adequately capture military grade drones? Are there drones that are listed above but are not military grade? Are there drones that are not listed above that are military grade? So they're wondering, and this is a great time to comment that, hey, the Mini 5 Pro, the Neo 2, Air 3S, whatever drone, these, although they have LiDAR, they're not military grade drones. But yeah, just want to make that clear that they are asking for your opinion and your comments on if we misidentified anything. The next part is worst case scenario. If they go along with this and say any drone that has LiDAR is military grade, we need to restrict it. We can check this out. We can look here. Any prohibition would exclude, the bottom bullet point, the use or operation of any already purchased drones. Now, for example, I have a DJI Mini 5 Pro. I've already purchased it. So that means it would be fine. It wouldn't stop working. It wouldn't be grounded. This would only affect future Mini 5 Pro models from coming to the US. So think like in 2030, if someone wanted to buy a Mini 5 Pro and worst case scenario, all of this happens and they get restricted, then the Mini 5 Pro couldn't be sold, marketed, or imported into the United States. But if you already have one, you're fine. So that is a very important piece of information. Not every drone is just going to be banned or fall out of the sky. It's only future models of these drones. If you already purchased one, you're okay. And the third part that I want to clarify is the timeline with all of this happening. I've also seen headlines where they say, oh, drones are going to be banned in a month. Where that's coming from is there is one deadline, one specific deadline on the sheet, and that is September 2nd. That is the deadline when the comment period ends. So we have, from the date of this recording, we have a few weeks to put in our comments, and then they are going to review the comments and make a decision after that. Now, if we want to estimate some timelines, again, all estimations, we have no idea how this is going to go. Governments usually work fairly slowly with all of this stuff. If we look at the most recent filings for similar things, after the comment period ends, it usually takes a few weeks to a few months for them to review all of the comments and make a final decision. So if we're being lenient, let's say by October or November, they have made a decision. What happens after that? If we go back to the public notice and go down to page 10, we can see implementation timeline. They say, we propose that all parties, in this case DJI, must cease all importation and marketing activities regarding such previously authorized military-grade drones 180 days after publication in the Federal Register. So let's say they publish this around October, November. That means DJI has 180 days to stop importing these types of drones. 180 days is 6 months. So now we're looking about halfway through 2027. And this would be the earliest that this would happen. And again, worst case that they review the comments and they still think all of these drones are military grade and they don't change anything. So halfway through 2027 is just an estimate of when all of this could take place. And we don't know how they're going to respond to the comments, everything like that. They could change a lot about this. But that is all the current information we have right now. The most important thing you can do is go and comment on this sheet. We'll link down below where you can go and comment. Make sure to be respectful, educational, talk about your personal experiences with drones, how this would affect your business or the company you work for. Please don't get angry or mean. They most likely are going to skip over those comments, and that would not help the industry at all. So make a comment, and yeah, hopefully we can make some changes to this document before it gets published. And that's really all we wanted to go over. This is still pretty new. There's a lot of headlines, a lot of clickbait titles out there. So, try and share all of this information and be accurate so we're not fear-mongering people even more about this situation. But we're going to stay on top of it. We only know the information that we're given, so we'll try and stay updated as much as we can. But yeah, both of these pages will be linked below. We'll have the link to where you can add comments and let us know what you think about this situation. If you found this video helpful or you just want to stay updated on this situation, please like and subscribe and follow us for more as we're going to continue updating you on the drone industry. So thank you, blue skies, and safe flying.